He's showing off.
That we set up 2 years ago on Byron.
I'm so jealous.
Sleeping in the yurt there this evening. Chickens. This is where I'm working from. This is a tree house that we built. So keep an eye on the kids down there. Yeah, it's good fun. Good fun. Must not forget to start the class, right?
I know, yeah.
I'm being carried away with these sort of things. Yeah, it's nice. It's been a lot of hard work, but we've got there. Taken us, I mean, it was completely, it wasn't even a step to, it was just there until it's taken us about 3 years. But we built the level of land and then built these polytunnels. We've got everything, we've got full electricity, water, everything you need we've got through. So yeah, it was a nice project. So lockdown lasted a bit longer for us, and we're quite happy here, to be honest. Quite organised. Yeah. I'm like a prepper. And how's lockdown treating you? Are you okay? Yeah, well, it's fine. Still lots of love. Okay. Yeah, for me, very fine. So that is certainly going to be good to do. But yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. How busy are you finding it now? Yeah, so my party is, so basically I'm doing everything with the but the busy, but I'm not so I'm competition and so yeah, that's still it's sort of busy time. Yeah, absolutely. Well, although I'm working from here, it's very different, but I'm sat here screaming my third class into the night, keep having a alarm set for every 40 minutes. I'm going to let you crap up now and do stupid flex.
Yeah. I'm going to put the...
I'll turn my camera off to stop spoiling things.
Okie coke.
We'll start here and watch the sunset. Oh, Flora's joining us as well.
Oh, yay! Hey, Flora! What are you doing? You okay? William.
Live in 52 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn the Instagram on. The Insta on.
Turn the Instagram on. Well, remember that, I forgot it.
Yeah.
I'm in my treehouse. Treehouse office. That's it to look. Right, enjoy you guys. See you later.
See ya, we will do. Bye. Hey. Alright. So 10 seconds before we go, before it starts. Oh, that's a really white t-shirt you've got on there, Paul. It's like, it's glowing. So, it's glowing on screen. Alright, welcome guys. Hello Risers. How are you doing? It is Ashton here. Welcome to Flex tonight. Okay, so today we're going to be doing Flex 13. Hope you're all well, having a good evening so far. And in this sequence we're going to maybe need a strap, or maybe if you haven't got a strap, use like a tea towel, or some people even have like a sock, like a long sock. Just anything that will help you make a connection with your foot, with your hand, if you know you've got quite sort of a tight lower body there. Alright, so I'll just give you a few seconds there to go and get that. And then whenever you're ready, let's get started in our child's pose. So facing the front of the mat, bring your knees together and then reach forwards with the arms. Good to see you all guys, welcome. And then pop your forehead onto the floor. Reach forwards with the fingertips. So we're trying to lengthen the body as much as possible. Just feel your chest muscles and the arm muscles getting longer and longer as you creep those fingers forwards. Once you feel like you can't extend anymore, then just allow the elbows to rest on the floor and the glutes to sink towards the heels. Now let's bring our focus to the breath. So inhale into the stomach and ribcage, feeling everything inflate and rise. And then exhale, allow everything to relax here. Feeling the forehead roll more towards the floor. Now just 4 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. It doesn't matter if you're not breathing at the exact same rate that I am. Just deep breaths. Just that mindfulness of breath is what we're after here. Okay, just 2 more now. Feeling the lower spine lengthen as well as we relax more. Final breath. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, from here, lift up the forehead from the floor and then shift your hands towards you and the shoulders over the hands. Separate the feet and knees so that we come into our tabletop, so the knees underneath the hips here. Roll your shoulders back a little bit, draw them away from the ears and squeeze the core. Okay, so this is your strong tabletop. From here we're going to do some scapular push-ups to get some movement in the shoulder blade, in the shoulders here. So as I inhale, I'm going to allow my shoulder blades to collapse together. As I exhale, I'm going to push the floor away and open up the shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So 5 of those. Really squeezing the shoulder blades together here at the bottom for 5. For 4, really rounding that upper back there as we push the floor away. For 3, that's it. For 2, very nice. So it's a little bit different to a cat-cow because we're focusing on the scapulars here. And for 1, all right, come back into your neutral tabletop here. And then let's start to circle the hips and the shoulders. Getting some movement and stretching going on in the wrists there and forearms. For 3, 1 deep breath per circle. For 2, pushing those glutes right back onto the heels. And 1 more breath. And coming back into central tabletop. Shall we go the other way now? So 3 circles anti-clockwise. For 3, maybe you want to increase your range of movement in your circle. For 2, you can be quite free. You can do whatever feels good. And for 1. All right, come back into your central tabletop and then nip the knees together. Lift the hands off the floor, come into your kneeling position now. So I'm just going to turn a little bit to this side so you can see what I'm doing. From here, we're going to take a lateral bend, opening up each side of the body. Start with the right hand onto the floor or fingertips, okay, whatever enables you to have an open chest. As I inhale, I reach up with my left arm, and then as I exhale, I'm going to lean over to my right, keeping both glutes on the floor to get that full extension of the left side there. Keep reaching, extending this top arm and bend this bottom arm. Roll the right shoulder away from the ear here. Look upward slightly for 3 and keep leaning and sinking. For 2, enjoy that stretch in your lower back there. And 1 more breath. Now inhale, come back to center. And then plant your left hand onto the floor, and then as we exhale, we swap sides. So right arm reaches over to the left this time, roll your left shoulder back and bend that left arm here. For 3, keep reaching and bending once more. For 2. 1 last breath, keeping glutes on the heels, remember. And then inhale, come back into center. All right, maybe give your torso just a little bit of a twist out here. before popping your hands onto the floor, lifting glutes up from heels, tucking the toes underneath once more. Inhale here, and then exhale, lift the hips into the air, taking our first downward facing dog, guys. Oh yeah, so probably feel it in the hamstrings and in the lower back here. Have a soft bend in the knees if you're quite tight in the backs of the legs. Try to ground the heels towards the floor, and if your heels are turned inward slightly, try to turn them outwards so you're opening up the sit bones and having both sets of toes point forwards. Squeeze the abs, keep lifting the hips into the air. From here you can start to pedal the feet, okay, one after the other. Maybe you want to start twisting the body and swinging the hips from side to side. Just do whatever feels good. Again, you can be quite free with your movement here. You're just warming up. 2 more deep breaths now. For 2, allow the head to relax. And 1 more breath. Alright, come back into your stationary down dog. Make your adjustments. Make sure you're grounded and stable in your down dog. So feet at hip width apart and hands at shoulder width apart. Once you feel strong, maybe you can go for a twisted dog. So we're going to lift up the right hand from the floor here and then reach towards our left calf or around the ankle. You can hold it on the outside or the inside of the ankle. Continue to pin the heels down towards the floor and then look underneath that right armpit. If this is too much for you, then just stay in your down dog, your full down dog. 2 more breaths for 2. That's it, keeping the core squeezed. And 1 last breath. Now, bringing both hands back onto the floor, taking full down dog once more. Reset all the hands and feet, okay? Equalize the weight. Stay, making sure that you're strong. Let's move to the other side. So lift the left hand up from the floor, reach towards the shin or the ankle, and then look underneath the right arm this time, grounding heels towards the floor. For 3. Everything is engaged here. For 2. Come back into down dog if you need. And 1 more breath. That's it. That was your twisted dog. Now both hands back onto the floor. Take an inhalation here. And then as we exhale, shift your shoulders over your hands, taking your lovely strong plank here. Alright, so squeeze your glutes, squeeze your core, bring the abs to the back of the spine, pin the hips down, open up the shoulder blades, dome the upper back here, and keep your gaze in between your hands. Just 1 more breath here. Inhale, and then exhale to your chaturanga or knees, chest or chin. We're taking a vinyasa now, so slowly lower the chest to the floor. If you need to come to knees, chest or chin, that's cool. Keep those elbows tucked in, and then inhale, grounding into hands, lift and scoop up into your upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders right back, lift the chin and the heart here, and the knees off the floor. Squeeze the glutes together, and then exhale, lift the hips into the air to your downward facing dog once again. Make the adjustments that you need. Inhale here, and then as we exhale, we shift forwards into our plank once more. So we're going to do quite a lot in a plank position here with the hips elevated. If it gets too much at any point, come on to forearms or knees. Make whatever modifications you need, all right? So first we're going to open up into a side plank. So shifting your weight into your left hand, we're going to open up into our side plank over to the left, reaching up with the left arm. Your feet can be stacked or staggered, completely up to you. And then from here, you can either stay and hold your side plank, or you can take leg lifts with me. So as I inhale, I'm going to lift up my top leg. As I exhale, I'm going to slowly lower, squeezing that top glute. Keep extending that top arm towards the ceiling. Keep the shoulders stacked. 1 more now. Inhale. And exhale. All right, from here, left hand comes back onto the floor. We roll back into our normal plank, and then keeping that left leg elevated, we're going to shift our weight into our left hand this time, and then open up into a fallen triangle. So fallen triangle, right arm reaches up, your left foot can be on the floor, in front of the right foot, or it can lift off the floor for more core and glute engagement. If you want, you can even take some leg lowers. So let's go for 3, really working that left inner thigh there. For 2, nice and slowly, keeping those hips elevated, and for 1. Now, from here, unthread from your fallen triangle, right hand comes back onto the floor, and then with this left leg, it's still in the air. I'm going to flip over into my wild thing. So I plant it onto the floor, the side of the mat, and then I lift my hips and extend my left arm towards the front of the mat. If this gets too much for that bottom wrist, then come onto your right knee for kneeling wild thing. In your standard wild thing, then just keep squeezing the glutes and keep lifting the chest, rotating that chest to face the ceiling there, lengthening out the whole front of the body. 2 more breaths for 2. That's it. Try to enjoy it, guys. And last breath, enjoying that stretching out. And then exhale, roll back into your plank once again. Okay, so from here, the whole plank sequence once more. So remember that side plank. This time we're going to open it up over to the right. So reaching up with the right arm, feet stacked or staggered. Up to you. Leg lowers, maybe. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, slowly lower for 3. For 2. Try and pause at the top with that leg lift. Keep it controlled. And for 1. Now we're going to thread through into our fallen triangle. So right hand comes back onto the floor, right leg threads underneath left, leg lifts if we can. For 3. For 2. Deep breaths now. And for 1. You're ready to thread into your wild thing. So right leg comes underneath us, hands back onto the floor, and then we flip to our beautiful wild thing. So lifting chest again, lengthening right arm, squeezing those glutes for 3. For 2. Relax the face, keep the breath regular. And 1 more breath. And then slowly flip back into our plank. Okay, so from here, we're going to take a Superman hold. Right, so we've got 2 different levels. Level 1, knees onto floor, hands underneath the shoulders. And then from here, starting by extending one arm, if you feel stable here, you can also extend the opposite leg. Try to pin your hips and shoulders down. That's level 1. Level 2, it's the same thing, except you're doing it from plank. So start by extending the right arm first and then the left leg. All right, so take whichever level you want. 3 deep breaths. Pin those hips down. Don't let those hips come up, guys, or sag. 2 more breaths. Stabilize your hips and shoulders. Whew. 1 more breath. You can do it. Stay still. And release. Come back into your plank or your tabletop. Okay, maybe give your wrist a little bit of a shake out before we take the other side now. Okay, whenever you're ready, inhale, lift up the left arm this time and then the right leg. Pin hips down, be still. For 3, keep lengthening the arm and the leg. For 2, keep the abs and the glutes squeezed. 1 more breath. And release hand and foot back to floor. Well done, guys. Now if you need to, pop your knees on the floor, give your wrists a little bit of a shake out, maybe crisscross the arms to shake out the shoulders, and maybe even roll out the wrists. All right, just do whatever you need to feel good. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, we're going to take another vinyasa transition, but if you want more of a rest, then feel free to take a child's pose whilst we do that. So coming back into your plank, whenever you're ready. Inhale here, yeah. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, scoop to up dog, squeezing glutes. And then exhale, flow to down dog. One inhalation here, bend the knees, and then as we exhale, you can either step or float in between the hands to your forward fold. Allow the head to drop here. Take one breath, inhale, and exhale, feeling the head sink towards the floor. As we inhale, ground into the feet, sweep up with the arms. Arms will reach up, we come into a standing position. Arms meet at the top overhead, a little back bend if you want, and then exhale, bring hands to center of chest. All right, so we're going to move into some balancing sequence, a balancing sequence now. So first we're going to start with a standing forward folded half lotus. So I'll just move a little bit here for you. We've got a few different levels. You can either take tree pose, so grounding into the right foot. With your left foot, you can pop it onto the right ankle, onto the inner right calf, or onto that inner calf. If you want to take a full half lotus with me, then you can pop your foot onto the hip crease here. All right? So take whichever level suits. Once you're comfortable here, inhale, reach up with the arms. And then as we exhale, we're going to fold forward. So keep reaching forwards, hinging at the hips. Now, if you find that you are nowhere near the floor, then you can just leave the hands hanging, or you can use a brick or encyclopedia or whatever object you manage to find just to help you make that distance to the floor. Okay, it just helps you stabilize a bit as well. So relax the head, 3 deep breaths for 3. For 2, try to relax that left leg there. Allow the hip to open up and the glute as well. 1 more breath. Okay. And then from here we're going to come into a twisted half lotus. So the right fingertips remain on the floor, and then we slowly open up to the left, reaching up the left arm here. For 3, deep breaths, sending energy down that base leg. For 2. 1 more breath, you can do it. And then slowly untwist. Okay, from here, slowly roll up, bring chin to chest. And then we're still grounded on that right leg. We're going to take a dancer's now. So foot off the hip crease and then bring heel to bum. Knees together, right arm reaches up besides the ear. Inhale here, as we exhale, we hinge forwards, kicking this knee backwards. For 3, getting that lovely back bend in, lifting the chest, opening up. For 2, enjoying that quad stretch. So nip your knee in towards your midline if it's riding out to the side. And 1 more breath. Well done. From here, release your foot and then pop your fingertips onto the floor in line with the base foot if possible. And then from here, lift that left leg into the air, into your standing splits here. Try and really squeeze your left glute, keeping the leg engaged. Point the toe if you want. For 3, nose to knee. For 2, keep lifting, guys. A little bit higher. And 1 more breath. And then release. So pop both of your feet together at the front of your mat. You can have your feet at hip width for a bit more stability, or you can bring them together. From here, we're going to slowly rise into a chair. So arms sweep up, come into standing position, ground into the heels. Inhale here, and then exhale, slowly lower the glutes towards the heels there. Okay, so it's as though you're sitting back into a chair. Try and keep the back completely straight and long. Keep reaching forwards and upwards with the arms here. For 3, maybe bring your gaze upwards for that lovely neck alignment. For 2, keep your weight in the heels, guys. Try not to tip forwards. And 1 more breath. Woo. And then from here, bring hands to chest. And then slowly lower the glutes towards the heels, bringing knees forwards into our toe stand. So from here, you can stay in your straight toe stand, or we can come into a little twist. So keeping the knees together, we're going to bring the left elbow onto the outside of the right knee and then twist the body so that the hands come into the center of the chest. For 3 deep breaths. Let's try and keep those knees lying together. Okay, you might find that one shifts forwards. If so, just draw it back towards you. 2. One last breath, and then we're going to rise into our twisted warrior 3. You ready? Alright, so grounding into feet, staying twisted, ground into your right foot, and then lift and extend that left leg there. For 3, keep squeezing that left leg. For 2, pin your hips down, keep lifting. Woo, one more breath. And then slowly untwist. Bring hands onto floor and then gently step back into your plank. All right, maybe give your hips and your legs a little bit of a shake out, and then we'll move to the other side. Well done, guys, that is challenging. Okay, the balancing sequences always are challenging in these flex sequences. All right, inhale, and then exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, flow to down dog. One inhalation here, bend the knees, and then exhale, step or float to your forward fold again. Inhale, rise, arms reaching up once more, hands together, and then exhale, bring hands to chest. So now we're going to take our standing half lotus or up forward folded tree on the other side now. So grounding into the left foot this time. Remember, your right foot can be on ankle, calf, on the thigh, or even on that hip crease. So make your adjustments. Squeeze the core. Inhale, lift up the arms, extend. And then as we exhale, we fold forwards, reaching forwards, hinging at hips. So use your brick or whatever you need to make that connection. For 3. Try to relax the head and that right leg there. For 2. One more breath. And then we open up into our twisted forward fold. So left fingertips stay on the floor, and then with the right arm we reach up. For 3. Stack the shoulders. Try to roll that right shoulder back. For 2. And one more breath. Right, from here slowly untwist. Roll up, still grounded into that left foot. And then we're going to come into dancers. Okay, you can step out the feet if you want to for a little rest. Bring knees together, heel to bum. Right, left arm reaches up. And then we hinge forwards and kick upwards and backwards. Lift chest for 3. Getting that back bend in. For 2, keep extending that left arm. One more breath. And then release your foot. And then pop the fingertips onto the floor. So we're going to go for that standing split. Again, you can bend the bottom leg if you need to, and then lift that right leg for 3. Come on, engagement of the right leg there. For 2, and the left glute. Try to square off the hips here so we don't open up at the hips too much. One more breath. You can do this. Try to straighten out the leg. And release both feet to the floor, coming into your forward fold once more. So we're going to come into our chair now. Have your feet however you want them, slightly wider or both feet together. And then slowly rise up with the arms, coming into standing position, arms extending, and let's sink back into that chair. So back with the glutes. Sinking farther and farther down, just an inch farther perhaps. For 3, tucking your glutes underneath the hips there. For 2, if you're finding this quite comfortable, then maybe you want to start lifting your toes off the floor as well. That just, as soon as you do that, you should feel the calves stretch out and open up even more. 1 more breath. And then bring hands to chest. And then slowly lower into our toe stand once more. Stay here or twist with me. So this time, keeping knees together again, we're going to bring right elbow onto outside of left knee. 3 deep breaths, hands to center of chest. That's it, looking really good there. For 3, opening the chest. For 2, one more breath. Now stay twisted. Slowly rise up with the glutes, onto the heels, and then ground into the left foot, and then shoot back with the right. Twisted warrior 3 once more. 3 deep breaths. For 3, breathe into that base leg, guys. I know it might be feeling a little bit intense now. For 2, focus on a spot. Look downwards, that might help you if you're wobbling quite a bit. All right, 1 more breath, you can do it. And slowly untwist. And then pop your hands onto the floor, step back lightly, and take your plank once again. Okay, shake out the hips, take your rest if you need, and then come back into your plank. 1 inhalation here in your plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to your up dog, rolling shoulders back. And exhale, flowing back to your down dog. All right, reset in your down dog, and then when you're ready, inhale, lift up the right leg. We're going to come into a lunging sequence now. As we exhale, we thread the knee towards chest, and then pop the foot gently in between the hands, as gently as possible anyway. We're going to lift into warrior 1 now. So flatten the back heel, heels in line with one another. If you find that you've got really tight hips, then you can have your heels about hip width distance, right? So slowly rise into that warrior 1 stance. You want to try and square your hips and your shoulders to the front of the mat. So draw your right hip back towards you. If you find that you're opening up to the side a lot here. From here, we're going to take eagle arms, sink down to the hips, and then bring the left elbow on top of the right here. Twist the forearms around each other as much as you can. If not, just pop the backs of your hands together like that. That's cool as well. So this really opens up the shoulders from us. From here, lift the elbows to face, and then exhale, tick backwards a little bit. Get that lovely back bend in there, whilst also opening up the shoulder blades and the traps. For 3, keep sinking down, guys. Take that back heel onto the mat. For 2, maybe you want to push your front knee outwards slightly as well. Really get that opening of the inner thigh. 1 more breath. And then gently come out of your back bend, uncross the arms. Keep your legs as they are, and then interlock your hands behind your back. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze shoulder blades together, lift hands into the air. We are going to bow forwards into our humble warrior now. So bow forwards as we exhale. Allow the head to drop. Bring the shoulder onto the inside of the knee. Keep your legs strong here for 3. Ground your feet firmly into the floor. For 2. Allow the head to sink. 1 more breath. And then slowly rise. Unclasp your hands. Bring hands to heart. From here, pivot onto your heels so that you face the left side of the mat. And then we're going to take a surfer's lunge to the back of the mat. Okay, so we're going to bend our back leg and then sink our heel onto our glute onto our heel. The other leg is straight. You can flex the foot as well. That's it. This is your surfer's lunge. If this is too much for you, then you can always come into gate pose. So just replace the foot with your knee there. Okay. If you want a bit more challenge of the balance, then extend the arms for 3. That's it. For 2. Keep reaching upwards. Little pinch of the shoulder blades. Keep extending. And 1 more breath. Alright, from here, bring your hands back to your prayer pose, and then we're going to ground into this back heel and lift out of that lunge. Now we're going to face the back of the mat and open up into a warrior 2. So now this time, heels in line with one another, and the hips and the shoulders are open to the side of the mat. Look towards the back of the mat, push your front knee out, and then extend the arms here. Sink down into the hips. Try to tuck your glutes in towards your midline and bring the neck directly above the hips. We're going to go for a sun warrior flow now. As I inhale, come into extended side angle. Left elbow onto left knee, right arm reaches over, keeping the chest open, lengthening the side of the body. As I exhale, I flow back into my warrior 2. You can take what reverse if you want, if that feels good. Let's go. 3 more of these. Inhale to side angle. Exhale, back to warrior. And just 2 more. Inhale, keeping your movements graceful, guys. Letting that lovely floaty feeling of the arms. 1 more to go now. Inhale, keeping the arms engaged. And exhale, try not to sink into that front knee too much here. Alright, from here, we're going to come into our warrior 1. Oh, actually, no, let's windmill the hands onto the floor, take a vinyasa, and then take a plank. And be nice, having a little resting vinyasa here. So, inhale here in plank. And then exhale to chaturanga. Inhale to your up dog, roll the shoulders right back, and exhale back into down dog. Okay, so now we're going to do everything on the other side, which will lead us back to facing the front of the mat eventually. So warrior 1 first. Inhale, lift up left leg. Exhale, thread knee to chest, and then pop foot in between hands. Okay, widen your feet to whatever width they need to be, in line with each other if possible. Okay, square the hips off to the back of the mat, sink down into hips. And then from here, stack your right elbow on top of the left, cross the arms, eagle arms, palms are relaxed, facing one another if we can. Inhale, lift elbows to face. Exhale, sink and bend. For 3. Keep those elbows high, guys. For 2. Keep drawing that left hip towards you. 1 more breath. And then gently come out of your bend and cross the arms. Humble warrior next. Legs stay as they are. Interlock the hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the hands into the air. Squeeze the shoulder blades. And then when you're ready, exhale and bow forwards. Shoulder onto inside of knee. Feeling the spine lengthen as the head sinks towards the floor. Keep rolling the shoulders away from the ears here. For 3. For 2. 4. Try to even out weight between legs. And 1 last breath. Okay, chin to chest, slowly roll up and clasp the hands. Bring hands to chest once more. Pivot to the side, face the side of the mat, and let's take a surfer's lunge towards the front of the mat this time. So bending that front leg, placing glute onto heel or coming into gate pose on the knee if needed. Inhale, reach up with the arms and slightly pinch the shoulder blades. Flex the foot of your lengthened leg. 3. For 2, you can try closing your eyes, see what happens. And to center of chest, and then grounding into the front heel, lift and come out of that surfer's lunge. Yeah, really nice there. From here, turn your right toes forwards and sink into our warrior two stance. Heels in line with one another, hips and chest open, and then extend the arms. So in your warrior two, you can have the hands slightly higher than the shoulders. It's up to you. I like to keep mine at that shoulder height with a soft bend in them, but you can have them poker straight in the air as well. It's, just depends on how you feel comfortable doing it. Alright, push this front knee outwards, sink down into hips, and let's go for that sun warrior flow again. Inhale, elbow onto knee, reaching towards the front of the mat, and then exhale back into warrior two. Okay, two more. Inhale, flowy movements, remember, keeping the glutes tucked in towards your center line, looking ahead in that warrior two, and then one more to go. Inhale. Yeah, looking beautiful, guys. And then exhale. Awesome. From here, windmill the arms and then pop hands onto the floor, framing front foot, come onto the ball of back foot, and then step back lightly to your plank. All right, so we're going to move into a more chilled pace now. Inhale here in plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop to up dog, roll shoulders back again. Exhale, flow to down dog. And then from here, we're going to transition into a pigeon. So let's start with the left leg. As we inhale, lift up the left leg. And then as we exhale, gently float the knee behind the left wrist here. With your right leg, you can lengthen it out behind you and then pin the hips down. Bring your weight down into the hips, so centralize the weight. If it's too much for your back leg to be straight, then just keep it bent, coming into animal pose. Now from pigeon or animal pose, start by gently rocking from side to side. Try to relax your bent leg just to loosen off the glute. If it feels good to do so, you can then come into a forward folded pigeon to deepen into this stretch. Okay, feel that glute just lengthen out as you do this for 3. Deep breaths. For 2. Keep sinking into the hips. And last breath. From here, lift your forehead up from the floor and then push yourself back up with the hands. Okay, so we're still in pigeon. And now, might want to get if you want to just get your strap or tea towel or whatever ready if you know you need one. We're going to do variations of bound and king pigeon. Alright, so from here I'm going to look over my right shoulder and then using my hamstring and glute, I'm going to bend the leg here, bring the heel towards my shoulder. And then from here you can judge whether you can take that bind or not, okay, on the inside of the foot. If so, great. If not, then yeah, just get your strap or towel or whatever. Okay, from here, if this feels pretty comfortable, maybe you want to pop that foot into the nook of your elbow. Continue to sink down into the hips and try to turn the chest slightly towards the front of the mat. If you want to take it even further, we can go for a full mermaid. So left fingertips off the floor and then take that bind with the right hand there, sinking down into the hips. Try to open the chest here for 3. Let's take a look at some of these. Yeah, very nice there, Paul. Awesome. For 2. Oh, breathe through it. Again, it can feel a little bit intense. Last breath. And release. Okay, from here, hands onto the floor. And then tuck your back toes underneath and lift back into that downward dog once again. Now let's do everything on the other side. Inhale, lift up the right leg, and then exhale, float right knee behind right wrist. Do whatever you need to do with that left leg, lengthening out or keeping it bent. Start by gently rocking from side to side first, and then when you're ready, fold forwards. For 3, nestling down into the hips, really pinning that left hip flexor downwards. For 2, and last breath. From here, bring your hands back towards you and then push up into your pigeon again. Now look over your left shoulder and we're going to do the same thing. So start by bending the knee, seeing if you can make that connection. Sinking down into the hips, and then, if possible, going for that foot in the elbow nook. Yeah, Keep sinking down, and then when you've got your balance, go for the bind. For 3. Try and enjoy that opening of the chest and that quad stretch as well. For 2, try to relax your right leg. We've got one more breath. Well done for keeping your balance. And then slowly release your foot. Come onto one glute and then sweep your back leg round towards the front here. Take a single leg forward fold now, stretching into the hamstrings. Again, you can use a strap if you want to make a connection with your foot there. Inhale, lift up the arms, and then exhale, fold forwards, leading with the chest towards the toes, keeping both glutes on the floor. If it's comfortable to do so, then you can wrap your hands around the sole of your foot, and then just allow the chin to come to chest. Feel the extension in your back here for 3, and in the back of the leg. For 2, and last breath. From here, slowly walk your hands back towards you and swap sides. So right leg is lengthened, both glutes on the floor. Inhale, reach up with the arms, and then exhale, fold over that right leg. Try to even out your shoulders, so if you're cocking to one side, try to pull the shoulder downwards so that they're equal. And then allow nose to come to knee for 3. Relax your stretched leg for 2. And last breath. Alright, release your foot, walk your hands back, and then give your legs a little bit of a shake out, guys. So that was the end of the set sequence. Now we're going to go into the wild card just quickly. We're probably going to go over time. I'm a bugger for that. So, alright, so I'm going to do a golden compass. Okay, so let's start with the strap. So we're going to start in a cross-legged position here. And then let's start by rocking the baby. Okay, so with your right foot, you can pop it into your left hand or the elbow if possible. And then the knee comes into the elbow. And we're just going to start rocking the leg from side to side just to loosen off the hip in its joint. Maybe you want to start circling the knee as well, keeping the glutes on the floor. Okay, once you feel loosened off enough, you can then start to bring this knee over the shoulder or onto just the upper arm. You want to try and keep the glute on the floor. So if your glute's lifting off the floor, you might need to shift it a little bit lower down. Yeah, just keep them planted down. If you're comfortable here, that's cool, you can stop there. If you want to get a little bit further, now this might not be a good idea to go any further if you've got a really tight hamstring, so just be aware of that, okay? Use your strap, hook it around your foot here. And then from here, lengthen out your right arm, pop it to the side, and we're going to open up the leg, okay? So we're going to straighten out the leg, trying to keep both glutes on the floor, and then bring this arm behind the ear. Okay, so you want this open chest, you want it to be open, you want to be sort of like caved in like this, okay? If that's happening, then just lengthen out the strap a little bit more, yeah? So I'm working towards it as well. Oh, Paul, you are flexible, man, Jesus. I can't believe what I'm seeing here. Yeah, this is quite difficult for me because I do have quite tight hamstrings and quads. But yeah, like I said, we're all working towards it. Yeah, look. Good, Flora. Yeah, nice. All right, just hold for 3 breaths and then slowly release. Okay. And then shake out the legs, guys. Okay, so whenever you're ready, roll back into your Shavasana. If you want to do the other side, then you might want to wait until after Shavasana because we're out of time now. So. Take a little roll back. We're just going to go for a short Savasana. Roll the shoulders back, open up the palms. 3 deep breaths. Feeling all the tension in the lower spine and in between the vertebrae. Loosen off for 3. For 2. Feeling the glutes just loosen off and sink into the mat. 1 more breath now. You can stay in your Shavasana for as long as you want, guys. You do not have to come out with me. Now gently wiggle fingers and toes. Slowly roll to one side into your fetal position. Take 1 breath here, and then in your own time, slowly roll and sit up. Now let's close off the practice. So roll the shoulders back. Inhale, sweep and reach up with the arms, hands together at the top, and then exhale, bring hands to chest. Okay, namaste, guys.